Imagine a player so gifted, so unstoppable, that rival teams would plan whole strategies just to stop him, and still fail. That is Kevin Durant for you, a timeless talent who has taken over the NBA with a unique combination of size, skill, and accuracy. From his humble beginnings to his NBA victories, Durant's career has been a blend of genius, controversy, and unwavering drive. So today, let's dive into the interesting journey of a player who changed the game, inspired others, and continues to leave his mark on basketball history. Kevin Wayne Durant, born on September 29, 1988 in Washington, D.C., was raised in Prince George's County, Maryland. From a young age, his exceptional talent on the basketball court turned heads. With his towering height and amazing skills, Durant embodied a rare combination of athleticism and finesse that set him apart. He shined in high school, showcasing his scoring ability and basketball IQ, which eventually led him to the University of Texas. There, Durant further cemented his reputation, becoming the first freshman in history to win the prestigious Naismith College Player of the Year award. His dominance in college foreshadowed the impactful career that awaited him in the NBA. Finally, in the 2007 NBA Draft, Durant was selected.
With the second pick in the 2007 NBA Draft, the Seattle Supersonics select Kevin Durant, University of Texas,
as the second overall pick by the Seattle Supersonics. Instantly, he made his presence felt. And at the end of 2007-2008 NBA season, Durant was named the NBA Rookie of the Year, following averages of 20.3 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 2.4 assists per game. As the franchise transitioned to Oklahoma City and became the Thunder, Durant emerged as the team's cornerstone and a rising star in the league. His ability to consistently perform at an elite level laid the foundation for a promising era in Oklahoma City. Eventually, at the 2009 NBA All-Star Weekend, he set a Rookie Challenge record with 46 points. And by the end of the 2008-2009 NBA season, Durant had raised his scoring average by 5 points from the prior season to 25.3 points per game, and was considered a strong candidate for the Most Improved Player award. Then, as the 2010-2011 NBA season approached, Kevin Durant made his commitment to the Oklahoma City Thunder by announcing via Twitter that he had signed a 5-year, $86 million contract extension. Kevin Durant's agent, Aaron Goodwin, confirmed Durant has signed a maximum extension with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Sources with knowledge of the deal told ESPN.com's Max Steen that Durant will receive the 5-year maximum from the Thunder, estimated at $86 million. The specific amount will be determined when the salary cap numbers are finalized on July 8th, and Durant can officially sign the contract. The Thunder showed the Durant family from the very beginning, at 11:01 the first night, that they were committed to keeping him, Goodwin said, referring to the start of the free agency period. There were just a few legal things to work out. Kevin made it clear that he wanted to be in Oklahoma. His decision was matched by his performance on the court, and he claimed his second consecutive scoring title with an impressive average of 27.7 points per game. Under his leadership, Thunder achieved a 55-win season and secured the 4th seed in the Western Conference. Also, the team's playoff journey saw victories against the Denver Nuggets and Memphis Grizzlies, resulting in a conference final showdown with the Dallas Mavericks. Although the Thunder fell in 5 games, Durant's dominance was undeniable. He led with 30.6 points per game and an outstanding 54.8% shooting rate. And this excellence continued in the 2012-2013 season as well. While Durant narrowly missed out on retaining his scoring title in the 2012-13 season, his overall efficiency reached levels that placed him in truly elite company. That year, he posted a field goal percentage of 51%, a three-point percentage of 41.6%, and a free throw percentage of 90.5%, making him just the 6th player in NBA history and the youngest at the time to join the prestigious 50-40-90 club. It was the kind of statistical season that advanced metrics love. His true shooting percentage was 64.7%, one of the highest ever recorded for a high-usage scorer. Durant didn't just shoot efficiently, he did it while carrying a massive offensive load. He averaged 28.1 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 4.6 assists per game across 81 games. showing improved playmaking alongside his scoring. His performance that season helped the Thunder finish with a league-best 60-22 record, clinching the top seed in the Western Conference. This was also the first full season after the departure of James Harden, who had been traded to Houston just before the 2012-13 season started. Many thought that losing Harden would derail OKC's title aspirations. Instead, Durant and Westbrook took the challenge head-on. But just as the Thunder seemed poised for another deep playoff run, disaster struck. During the first round of the 2013 playoffs against the Houston Rockets, Russell Westbrook tore his meniscus in Game 2 after a controversial collision with Rockets guard Patrick Beverley. The injury required surgery and ruled Westbrook out for the remainder of the playoffs. Despite Durant's best efforts, including a 41-point outing in Game 3, the Thunder were eliminated in the second round by the Memphis Grizzlies in 5 games. KD averaged 30.8 points that postseason, but lacked the help to get over the hump. By the 2015-2016 season, Durant and Westbrook had evolved into arguably the most dynamic 1-2 punch in the league. Durant returned from a foot injury that had sidelined him for most of the 2014-15 season and looked just as deadly as ever. He averaged 28.2 points on 50.5% shooting, including 38.7% from 3. Westbrook, meanwhile, was a walking triple-double threat, putting up 23.5 points, 10.4 assists, and 7.8 rebounds that season. Their chemistry on the court often bordered on chaotic brilliance, fast, furious, and fearless. On February 3, 2016, both Durant and Westbrook dropped 40-plus points in a win over the Orlando Magic, becoming the first teammate since Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in 1996 to reach score at least 40 in a game. The Thunder that year finished 55-27, good for third in the West behind the Spurs and Warriors. Then came the playoffs, and with them, a wild ride that nearly rewrote NBA history. The Thunder cruised past the Dallas Mavericks in the first round and dismantled the Spurs in the second, knocking off a 67-win San Antonio team in 6 games. Durant was surgical in Game 4 at that series, dropping 41 points while leading a comeback win. That win punched OKC's ticket to the Western Conference Finals, where they would face the defending champion, Golden State Warriors, fresh off their historic 73-9 regular season. Through 4 games, it looked like Durant and Westbrook were about to pull off the unthinkable. The Thunder jumped to a 3-1 series lead, with KD averaging 29.3 points, including a 40-point outing in Game 5. Their defense had the Warriors on the ropes. Draymond Green was rattled, Steph Curry was struggling, and OKC was just 1 win away from eliminating a team many had called the greatest of all time. But what followed was one of the most brutal collapses in NBA playoff history. The Thunder dropped 3 straight games. In Game 6, now known as Klay Game, Klay Thompson exploded for 41 points, hitting an NBA playoff record 11 three-pointers, many of them contested. OKC fell apart in the second half, despite 27 points from Durant and a near triple-double from Westbrook. Game 7 was more of the same, a tight contest where OKC lost steam late. Durant shot just 10 for 19 for 27 points, while the Warriors railed behind Curry's 36. Golden State advanced, OKC was eliminated, and the KD-Russ era never truly recovered. Off the court, whispers of growing tension between Durant and Westbrook were beginning to leak. While both were fiercely competitive, their playing styles clashed. Westbrook's high-octane chaos versus Durant's precision. There were no public blow-ups, but behind the scenes, people close to the team hinted at philosophical differences and a lack of off-court chemistry. Durant later admitted he often felt like an outsider. It was the end of an era, and just a few weeks later, on July 4, 2016, Durant dropped the bombshell. He was leaving Oklahoma City to join the very team that had just come back from 3-1 down to beat him, the Golden State Warriors. So, in 2016, Kevin Durant joined the Golden State Warriors, a team fresh off a historic 73-win regular season. The move ignited fierce debate and widespread criticism, with many accusing Durant of chasing an easy path to a championship. His former Oklahoma City Thunder teammate, Russell Westbrook, reportedly viewed the move as a betrayal, adding fuel to one of the NBA's most compelling rivalries. Additionally, Durant was accused of riding the coattails of a team that already had players like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. "I hated that," Durant said in an interview with the Washington Post. "Riding coattails? That'll never happen when I'm playing basketball. Either I'm going to step back so you can go ahead and do your thing, or I'm going to take control." However, despite the backlash, Durant's tenure with the Warriors was nothing short of extraordinary. Surrounded by talent and playing within a fluid system, Durant elevated his already dominant game. He secured back-to-back NBA championships in 2017 and 2018, solidifying his place as one of the greatest players of his generation. He also earned Finals MVP honors both years, with his ability to perform under immense pressure on full display. But his defining moment came in Game 3 of the 2017 Finals, when he hit a clutch three-pointer over LeBron James, an iconic play that symbolized his dominance on the biggest stage. Also for the Finals, Durant was the Golden State's top scorer in every game, averaging 35.2 points, 8.4 rebounds, and 5.4 assists, while shooting 55.5% from the field, 47.4% from three-point range, and 92.7% from the free throw line. He was subsequently named the NBA Finals MVP. The Warriors finished the playoffs with a 16-1 record, the best postseason winning percentage in NBA history. But his achievements did not stop here. In Game 3 of the 2018 NBA Finals, Durant recorded a playoff career high 43 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists in win over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Golden State ultimately swept Cleveland and clinched a second straight championship, with averaging of 28.8 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 7.5 assists. Durant won a second back-to-back Finals MVP award. Eventually, Rick Barnes, while talking about Durant, said, "He's an excellent shooter, an excellent passer, somebody who makes the players around him better." After his amazing run with the Golden State Warriors, Durant was searching for something different. Not just another title, but a place where he could lead, redefine his legacy, and build something new from scratch. In July 2019, he signed with the Brooklyn Nets in a sign-and-trade deal, despite still recovering from the Achilles tear he suffered in the 2019 Finals.
I had some great options on the table with some championship-winning organizations. Ultimately, I couldn't make a bad decision, but, this one was the perfect one for me.
Has some great options on the table with some championship-winning organizations, so smart business minds behind the scenes, as well as that I could have built with along around the league. But ultimately, I couldn't make a bad decision, but this one was a perfect one for me. Joining him in Brooklyn was Kyrie Irving, a close friend and elite ball handler with a championship pedigree. From the jump, fans and media dubbed this duo as the East Coast Avengers. This wasn't about creating another Warriors dynasty. This was about redemption. Durant actually downplayed the hype, but did not hide the ambition. The buzz reached a fever pitch when the Nets pulled off a blockbuster move in January 2021, acquiring former MVP James Harden. With this, Brooklyn had assembled one of the most offensively potent trios in NBA history. The expectations were sky high, but the reality was a constant roller coaster. Durant, returning from injury after missing the 2019-20 season, looked as lethal as ever. His shot was still pure, his handles tight, his instincts sharp. In his debut with the Nets, he dropped 22 points in just 25 minutes. It was a way of saying, "I'm back." But things started getting complicated. Kyrie Irving began missing games, first due to personal reasons, then due to his refusal to get vaccinated, making him ineligible to play home games under New York's COVID-19 regulations. James Harden, who initially looked comfortable, started showing signs of frustration as chemistry issues surfaced. And once again, injuries started biting. The Big Three played just 16 games together across 2 full seasons. Durant, though, kept delivering. In the 2021 playoffs against the Milwaukee Bucks, with Irving out and Harden hobbling, Durant put on one of the greatest performances in playoff history. In Game 5 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, he logged all 48 minutes, posting 49 points, 17 rebounds, and 10 assists, dragging the Nets to a victory almost single-handedly. NBA fans were stunned, but the magic wasn't enough. In Game 7, Durant hit what looked like a game-winning three, only for replays to show his toe was on the line. The shot counted for two. The game went to overtime, and the Nets lost. That 1-inch difference became the defining symbol of the Nets era. Always close, never quite enough.
But then when we got the call, let's tell you how bad DC traffic is. We still in the car 45 minutes later on the way to the hotel, and they called us and told us that there's a 6-week injury, 4 or 6 week injury, and just a bone bruise, and I was so relieved.
As the 2021-22 season unfolded, things only got messier. Harden forced his way out, traded to the Philadelphia 76ers. Kyrie's part-time status became a media circus. Durant kept pushing, but even he couldn't hold the crumbling structure together. And then came the ultimate twist. After signing a 4-year extension, Durant requested a trade in June 2022. He later rescinded the request, only to double down again the next season. The dream of the Nets dynasty had collapsed, despite the failure. Durant's stint in Brooklyn wasn't wasted. He reminded the world that even after an Achilles injury, he could still be that guy. And though the Big Three didn't deliver a championship, they gave us glimpses of basketball nirvana. When it worked, it was beautiful. But by early 2023, the Brooklyn experiment was officially over. Kyrie Irving requested a trade and was sent to Dallas. Just days later, Durant followed. On February 9th, 2023, the Brooklyn Nets traded Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns in a massive deal that included Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and 4 unprotected first-round picks. The move was yet another seismic shift in Durant's career, his third team change in under 7 years. Many saw it as a chance for redemption, a clean slate, and one last full-speed sprint toward another championship. Teaming up with Devin Booker and veteran Chris Paul, and later joined by Bradley Beal, the Suns suddenly had one of the most lethal starting lineups in the NBA. But just like Brooklyn, Phoenix proved to be more complicated than it looked like. Kevin Durant joined the Phoenix Suns in February 2023, aiming to form a formidable trio alongside Devin Booker and Chris Paul. The addition of Bradley Beal in the offseason further heightened expectations. However, the 2024-25 season fell short of aspirations. Despite Durant averaging 26.6 points, 6 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game, the Suns conclude the season with a 36-46 record, missing the playoffs and finishing 11th in the Western Conference. This marked a significant underachievement for a team laden with talent. The season's disappointment led to the dismissal of head coach Mike Budenholzer, making him the third coach fired by the Suns in as many years. Team owner Matt Ishbia labeled the season embarrassing and emphasized the need for a clear team identity and passion. As the Suns contemplate a rebuild, Durant's future with the team is uncertain. Reports suggest that unless the Suns make significant playoff progress, they may consider trading Durant. Any potential trade would involve collaboration between Durant and the Suns to find a suitable contender. One team linked to Durant is the Houston Rockets. Durant has expressed interest in joining Houston, but the Rockets front office is hesitant due to his age and the team's focus on developing their younger core, including Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun. Additionally, the Suns have shown interest in acquiring Golden State Warriors forward Draymond Green in a potential deal involving Durant. This interest stems from Green's toughness and his connection with Suns owner Matt Ishbia. And speaking of toughness, Draymond Green might just be the perfect chaos antidote Matt Ishbia thinks Phoenix needs. The Suns' rumored interest in swapping Kevin Durant for the Warriors veteran was no coincidence. It wasn't just about adding defense or leadership, it was about culture, the very thing Phoenix lacked all season. But here's the irony. Durant and Draymond have history, not warm and fuzzy history either. Everyone remembers that sideline spat during the 2018 season, the "we don't need you" moment that went viral, and many believe cracked Golden State's super team chemistry. So imagine the theater of flipping KD for the very guy who once screamed him off the Warriors bench. The NBA doesn't write scripts like this, reality does. Yet that's exactly where we are. The Durant era in Phoenix is teetering, and it's not just trade rumors, it's the hard numbers. The Suns finished the 2024-25 season with a 36-46 record. That's the worst outcome for a KD-led team since his rookie year in Seattle. They missed the play-in, missed the playoffs, missed expectations by a mile, and now they've missed out on their own first-round pick, sent to Brooklyn in the Durant deal. This pick turned into a top 10 lottery selection. Ishiba's empire is hemorrhaging resources with no rings to show. The roster? Top-heavy. The chemistry? Non-existent. The coach? Gone. Mike Budenholzer lasted just one season before getting axed, becoming the third coach in 3 years to be tossed aside in Phoenix's endless search for direction. KD wasn't the problem, but he sure as hell isn't the long-term solution anymore. Durant averaged 26.6 points on 52.7% shooting this season. That's elite, plain and simple. He even shot 41.3% from 3 and logged nearly 75 games, the most he's played since his OKC days. But that's also part of the paradox. For all his scoring, the Suns were still a negative team when he was on the floor defensively. The numbers show it. His on-court defense rating ballooned to a 117.2, one of the highest of his career. That's not all on KD, but at 36, he's no longer the switch-everything rim protector he was in Golden State. His effort is still there, but the legs aren't. And that's the conversation executives around the league are having right now. Yes, he's still a walking 27-piece, but can you build around him? Can he carry a franchise anymore? Or is he now best as a second or third option on a contender already baked and ready? Teams like the Miami Heat are quietly monitoring the situation. Pat Riley is always hunting for that one last big splash. Durant's ability to slot into Heat culture as a perimeter sniper next to Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo is intriguing if Miami can somehow move the necessary contracts without gutting its identity. Minnesota is another dark horse. After their run to the Western Conference Finals this year, insiders say they're one elite wing away from being unguardable. Anthony Edwards is the franchise centerpiece, but pairing him with Durant could make for a lethal offense combo. The Wolves have draft capital, contracts to move, and motivation to go all in. And then there's the team that keeps popping up in every Durant conversation lately, the Houston Rockets. Why? Simple. They own the Suns' future. Houston holds multiple unprotected Phoenix picks from the Durant trade, and they're climbing in value by the minute. Durant reportedly has interest in Houston, viewing them as a young, exciting squad, with a coach he respects in Ime Udoka. But the Rockets have been cold on the idea. Raphael Stone, their GM, is building something slow and sustainable. Trading for a 36-year-old star doesn't align with the timeline, especially when it might cost them core pieces like Jalen Green, Cam Whitmore, or even Alperen Sengun. Still, there's pressure. Ownership knows that sitting on all those assets only matters if they convert to wins. And with Dillon Brooks, Fred VanVleet, and Jabari Smith Jr. growing restless, Houston might have to make a move even if it bends their timeline. Meanwhile, back in Phoenix, the vibes are chaotic. Devin Booker, once the quiet cornerstone, is reportedly frustrated. There are whispers around the league that if Phoenix doesn't reset this summer, Booker could be the next one out. And if that happens, it's not just the Durant era that's over, it's the entire Suns project. Which brings us back to KD. He's been the hired gun, the ultimate mercenary, since leaving OKC. Golden State, Brooklyn, Phoenix. He drops in, drops 30, and leaves a complicated wake behind. And while he's never demanded trades mid-season or gone full diva, the Durant experience is intense. Media firestorms, online beefs, high stakes, and with every team he joins, the leash gets shorter. That's what makes this offseason so critical. If Phoenix can't find a trade partner willing to pay a premium, they risk entering next season with a ticking clock and a fractured core. But if they do move Durant, the return has to be meaningful, not just for asset recovery, but for face saving. Ishbia went all in for KD. Undoing that gamble without a clear win would wreck the franchise's reputation overnight. NBA insiders say the front office is exploring two lanes. One, a full reset, centered around Booker and young pieces. Two, doubling down by flipping Durant for players like Draymond Green and secondary scorers to build a tougher, grittier identity. Neither is easy, but what's clear is this: KD is on the clock. He's no longer the future of Phoenix, and maybe, just maybe, he never was. His story is far from over, and as he continues to chase greatness, the basketball world watches with bated breath. His impact, both on and off the court, ensures that his name will be remembered long after he hangs up his sneakers. So what are your thoughts about Kevin Durant and his journey? Share with us in the comments section below. And if you haven't already, check out our video on Dirk Nowitzki's career. It's a whole different kind of greatness. You don't want to miss it.
Way by Mayo, who's been very quiet. Collison the other way. Good rejection and blocked by Durant, who comes galloping and driving.